On 60 Minutes this past weekend, the Facebook whistleblower that has been feeding documents to the Wall Street Journal for about a month or so now, Frances Haugen, came out publicly, revealed who she was, did this interview with 60 Minutes, and during the interview, she admitted to something that most of us have suspected for a very long time, and that is that Facebook traffics in hate and violent rhetoric because it's good for their bottom line. She admitted, and of course she had the documents to back up her claims, that the company refused to take action about some of the most hate-filled posts, about violent posts on Facebook, because those were the ones the documents said got the most engagement. They got the most shares. So putting out this fanatical, hard right material made Facebook a lot of money. And that's why they refused to crack down on it. Now, we have talked in the past plenty of times of breaking up the big tech companies. Is this specific story here reason to break them up? No, it is not. I want to make that clear, okay? Breaking up Facebook would not change this one bit. So the only other option would be to regulate these social media companies, Facebook, Twitter, whatever else it is, as public utilities, which would mean, yes, at that point, everybody in the country would have the ability to be on these platforms, which at that point would probably only make the problem of extremism that much worse. Unless, of course, since they're regulated, the government came in, deleted posts, and suddenly at that point, we do have a free speech issue where the government is deciding what can and cannot be said. So I've just given you a lot of really contradictory points here, right? We know Facebook is terrible. We know they need to be broken up. Breaking them up doesn't solve this problem, and it may actually create an even bigger problem if the government steps in and regulates them on the, free speech grounds. So what the hell do we do? I don't have an answer. And from what I've seen, nobody else has a viable answer either. The only possible solution would be get off Facebook. They do reward extremism. And that is why right-wing individuals like Ben Shapiro, Dan Bongino, Breitbart, that is why they're always some of the most shared people on that website. Every now and then, by the way, Robert Reich will make it into the top 10. He's typically about the only liberal that does. Sometimes you'll get a Rachel Maddow in there. But for the most part, every week, the top 10 shares, most of them come from Dan Bongino and Ben Shapiro. But again, breaking them up doesn't change that. Breaking up the tech companies basically just means you can't be an app developer, a social media website, a news agency. You can't be all of these things at once. It wouldn't change the actual algorithm that promotes these hate-filled individuals. So unless Facebook makes the decision to crack down on these individuals, which the whistleblower has already told us and shown us the document saying they're not going to do that, we're at loggerheads, folks. Kind of hard to say what could or couldn't be done because some of the solutions being tossed around out there would actually create even worse problems. So here we are. No answers, a lot of evidence about how bad Facebook is, and unfortunately, far too many individuals who are just going to say, well, screw it. I enjoy Facebook. Let's just not worry about it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel for fresh content 7 days a week.